Somebody I'm not worried about is Canelo Alvarez. With him, I'm not going to say I'm annoyed. I interviewed him a few weeks ago. I like Canelo. But I got to tell you, when I talk about this next guy, I can't help but think about Canelo. And that next guy is unbeaten powerhouse David Benavidez. He was nicknamed the Mexican Monster by Mike Tyson, which any boxing aficionado knows. He's getting in the ring Saturday night for the light heavyweight interim crown against former champion Alexander Volzdig. That's his name. That's what they tell me his name is, okay? Alexander Volzdig. If I pronounced it wrong, I apologize. That's what your camp, that's what everybody tells me your name is, okay? The 12-round bout, that is going to serve as the co-main event to the WBA lightweight title between Davis and Martin. Now, Benavidez, this brother, is 28-0 with 24 knockouts. And he's been lobbying hard for a career-defining showdown against undisputed super middleweight champion of the world, Saul Canelo Alvarez, who I just finished mentioning. Benavidez says he would not rule out a return to his old weight division for a fight with Canelo, which, by the way, would be probably at 168 pounds. But he has to win Saturday night first. This is David Benavidez talking to me earlier this morning on my day job, First Take on ESPN. Listen to this.
I definitely do think he's trying to avoid me. You know, the whole boxing world knows that this is the biggest fight in boxing. And this is a fight that is deserved, that we deserve to give this to the fans. You know, I feel like, you know, the ones that deserve this fight more, you know, we should be giving it to the people because they're the ones that pay the hard-earned money to watch these fights. So this is definitely the fight that the whole boxing world is waiting for, and hopefully we can get it made in the future.
And do you believe that Canelo is being truthful when he's questioning whether or not you're marketable enough?
I mean, if I'm not marketable enough, why is he asking $150 million from me? I mean, the whole boxing world, this is the only thing that they want to watch. But for Canelo saying, I only bring 25 pounds in for the fight, I don't have no value, it's just because he's scared. He knows that as soon as I get in the ring with them, all those belts will be leaving with me, you know, and I will defeat Canelo Alvarez and I will become the undisputed champion at 168.
So do you believe, let me just be very direct, are you saying that Canelo Alvarez is running from you?
He definitely is running from me. I think the whole world sees it now. He's running out of excuses, and he's running out of place to hide.
And do you believe he's somebody that you would knock out?
I definitely do believe in my heart 100% I can stop Canelo Alvarez.
Damn. We've seen many things throughout the years. What we have not seen is Saul Canelo Alvarez in more than 60 fights ever get knocked out. It's never happened. But let me ask y'all this question, rhetorically. When David Benavidez says he will knock out Canelo Alvarez, he will stop Canelo Alvarez, who's willing to bet their money against him? Take your time, I'll wait. Because to bet your money against David Benavidez, what you have to be saying is there's no way in hell he can hurt Canelo Alvarez. With that thick ass neck of his, I don't blame people for feeling that way, but I got to tell you something. I can't rule out anything with David Benavidez. 28-0, 24 knockouts. Demetrius Andrade at the super middleweight division. The brother was undefeated. The brother can fight. Okay? He can fight. He can fight. So much so that a lot of people avoided him throughout the years. Benavidez stopped him in 6. Corner wouldn't let him come out for the 7th. Beat him up pretty good. And Benavidez was supposed to be the smaller dude. Benavidez is a monster. Mike Tyson's right. The Mexican monster. This brother is spectacular. Spectacular. And I'm going to tell you something else. I like Caleb Plant a lot. If Caleb Plant wasn't so good at evading pressure and evading punches, even though Canelo stopped him, and David Benavidez couldn't. He went the distance. He had Caleb Plant hurt. Caleb just moved and got the hell out of the way enough to survive. But he had him hurt on several occasions. The brother is tall, he's long, he's got speed and power in both hands, and most importantly, the resume that warrants a fight with Canelo Alvarez. I love Canelo. I respect the hell out of him. I really appreciated his candor during his interview with me where he was talking about, shit, I'll fight him right now. I'll fight both of them the same day. I don't give a shit. That's what his words, I'm quoting. But we know he didn't mean it when he said fight him the same day. because that's never going to happen. So you could talk that. But secondly, and most importantly, David Benavidez, as far as I'm concerned, is the best super middleweight in the world outside of the undisputed champion that is Canelo Alvarez. He deserves a shot. And I have to tell you, I think if Canelo catches you, he can hurt anybody. But so can David Benavidez. I don't know if I wouldn't pick David Benavidez to beat that fight. He is longer. He is taller. He can use his jab. He does have the potential, even though he walks right to you, he does have the potential to keep, to use the jab to keep you away. I don't know. I might have to go with him. But he is absolutely right. We as boxing fans have to stop allowing this to happen. This is why the UFC is so popular. The UFC is popular because Dana White gives you the fights you want to see when you want to see them without making you wait. It's the only reason. Because I don't care what anybody says. We might see guys getting choked out. You might have MMA enthusiasts and stuff like that. Loves to see somebody in the guillotine. Love to see somebody tapping out and all that other stuff. But nothing is more attractive than a knockout. Nothing. And in boxing, a big time boxing match, there's no more epic event in this country than a big time boxing match. Remember when Mayweather was fighting Pacquiao? Remember how much we was looking forward to that event? And it was 5 years too late. Remember Tyson's fights? Remember Hagler Hearns? Remember Sugar Ray Hearns? Remember Roy Jones Jr. before he got caught by Tarver? I mean, the list goes on and on and on. You listen to a brother right now. I go back to the days of Salvador Sanchez, Alexis Aguelo, Aaron Pryor, Pepino Cuevas before Hearns put him to sleep, Roberto Duran, Sugar Ray versus Hearns, Hagler, greatest middleweight champion of all time. No disrespect to B-Hop, Bernard Hopkins, love him to death. Remember when Hagler beat John the Beast Mugabe? Remember James Toney? Remember Mustafa Muhammad? Remember him? Remember Holyfield when he was a light heavyweight? Remember Spinks Leon, I'm talking about Michael rather, when he was at the light heavyweight and he stupidly moved up to fight Tyson, but it was for $13 million. At that time, major dough. That's where I go back to. Ernie Shavers, Ron Lyle, George Foreman, Joe Frazier, Ken Norton, of course the greatest, Muhammad Ali. This kind of stuff I'm talking about. Hell, even Riddick Bowe. Riddick Bowe and Lennox Lewis, we never got to see that fight. Because Riddick wasn't the same and then ultimately got himself in some trouble. We saw him in a trilogy against Holyfield. We never got to see him in his prime against Lennox Lewis in his prime. I'm tired of missing out on these fights. And I want the boxing community, because y'all cover it more than me, you cover it better than me, because you live it and breathe it and eat it every day. Could you help a brother out? How much help can I give y'all to help put pressure on these promoters to give us the damn fights we want to see? I want Canelo versus Benavidez. I don't want Benavidez moving up to the light heavyweight division to fight Vos Dig, who I expect him to beat, by the way. But if he beats that guy, then he's scheduled to go up against Benavidez, who's a monster. There's a reason Canelo didn't fight that guy at the light heavyweight division. He didn't fight that guy. Benavidez is a monster and a natural light heavyweight. I don't want Benavidez fighting Benavidez. I want him fighting his natural weight class, super middleweight, against Saul Canelo Alvarez. That is the fight we should all be demanding. That brother has earned a shot. I love Canelo. And I understand Canelo, the businessman. He's like, he had to go through a lot and had to fight through everybody before he got on the top of the mountain where he could dictate terms. I totally understand that. And I'm not throwing no shade on Canelo. I'm just saying, we want to see this fight. We deserve it. And Canelo, especially if Benavidez handles his business this weekend, Canelo, we deserve to see that fight. I don't want to see Benavidez versus Beterbiev until after he fights Canelo. Because fighting Beterbiev will take a lot out of him. I want to see him fight Canelo before that fight happens. That's just where I'm at with it, y'all. I'm sorry. I had to get that off my chest.